daily vitamins. Here we go. All right. We're back. We're back. Let's hop right into it. I got a lot of thoughts that I want to make sure I capture before I do anything else here. All right, so on the personal to-do list, not stream necessarily related, but I need to finish washing my laundry. Then I need to make sure it's all folded, put away. I'd like to clean the fridge this evening. I have a meeting with noon, so let's confirm the time on that. And then I think it makes sense to add something around like wins from the daily vitamin episode. I'm gonna keep playing some music here while we do all this. All these beats are made by me, guys. No copyright here. Okay, so I'm meeting with Anum today, 6:30 to 7 p.m. So this to a calendar. Invite download, that's what I need to do. Accept that. Let's make sure this is on the phone. So, I think those are the big ones. Yeah. So on the producer. Okay. Which is all folded, put away. In the fridge. Make sure I'm spelling. And Nuam. And no. At 6:30 p.m. Do a quick check-in here. Okay. Mom is wondering how early I get to Edmonton. Just don't really want to share my emails, so I'm taking it off screen here. 10:55. And I'd love to listen to some 454 right now, but I think I'll get copyright infringement. Good people of the internet playing with AI. Is it not Clay go to market? Clay GTM? Yes. Clay underscore GTM. Beat is real repetitive, eh? One thing I do want to add here, how in all capitals, how do I get the ability to play, you know, copyright music on my stream while I work? Do I have to write some notice in my description? Is there any way around this? Because I'd like to play other music that isn't mine, but I don't want to, you know, be accused of stealing people's stuff. Okay, so it does not have that ability. Let's make this a call out, actually. Oh yeah. HTTPS howIAIpod.com. Let's post in the Slack channel too. Good folks. Play Slack. that down. Close this down. We've done our marketing for the day, if you will.
So I'm gonna be talking.
Yeah, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. Gotta check some stuff anyways. Man, the streams have not been popping off last few days. Oh, I guess that one at 7. Cool. No views. Also. Hey, Ty, what's up, man? Well, I mean, it depends on what it means, but I don't think I'll be able to learn everything in a week now, but it's a good thing my business partner's there. I've heard a little bit. Nothing so far that. Yeah, the communication hasn't been great, I'd say. But what have I heard? Let me find it. I just got an email like last Thursday. Yeah, basically it was like, sorry, I'm just streaming right now, so I'm just trying to think about how to do this. Yeah, anyway, so Dan reached out to me on Friday the 11th, and he said, "Hey, just a quick update. I'm still looking to figure out where we want to try to put you." There's no specific updates from One Feather, but it sounds like they're generally planning on moving forward with an offering. FNTC is also going to post a curriculum developer position sometime next week, and I'll send it your way once it's ready. And I was like, I said, hey Dan, looking forward to learning more. I definitely want to weigh my options, but on the face of it, I do think the curriculum developer excites me more. And what I think I would be able to do uniquely well. You know, I have a ton of ideas, particularly around teaching people how to use AI, not only for web development, but like office work, personal development, learning at large. Hope to talk this week. And basically, Dan got back to me. Dan got back to me and said, "Hey Dylan, I've attached a job description about the curriculum-related position. Let me know if you have any questions." So that's basically been the chats. So stream, you'll have to bear with me. You'll have to bear with me. I'm sorry, guys. I got a call from my little brother, and it's some logistics stuff that we kind of have to think about it. So. What? All that I do. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Yeah. I'm working. Yeah. Money coming fast, so I don't need no lesson. Money going last, I do a lot investing. Remember in the past when I did a lot of stressing. Now I got this cash from American Expressing. Why they second guessing? I just be collecting these expensive lessons in tennis and visiting my dentist. Yeah, my girl and I be doing calisthenics. We be eating all the best shit. These festivals look aesthetic. How you treat yourself, but why look so lonely? Why look so sad? When I'm feeling so lonely, when I'm feeling so sad, what I do, I roll up a whole bag. Yeah, the trouble don't last. Such a pretty beat. When I hear it, I feel it. Everything gon' be irie. Out in the forest is where I be. Why look so lonely? Why look so sad? Out in the forest is where I be, smoking on these crushed leaves, hugging all the trees, giving thanks for this life that I lead. I love to bleed, I love to break through. My father, he a great dude, working in the dead of winter, just for us to live a little better. And my mother, she the pillow that I cry to. She the pillow that I cry to. She bared all the burdens, all these scars, yep I earned them. For now they fuel to the fire and I'm fucking burning them. Rising through the ash, yeah I'm tearing through the gray. Roots beneath my feet keep me grounded every day. Smoking to the sky, let the sorrow drift away. Turn my pain to power in the sun's golden rays. Why look so lonely? Why look so sad? Why you looking so lost when the world's for us to grab? I'm alive in the wild, ain't no reason to be down bad. Why you looking so lonely? Why you looking so sad? Visiting the plaza, looking luminous. I'm like a knight in shining armor. See a crow as it's digging through the garbage. Thinking to myself, that's the cousin. We are just animals looking for some sustenance. What's the value? Never took no value. Lost on the symptoms. When I do, I clean the bedroom. And when I do, I hop up in the ocean as my pool. Sitting at the beach as I read up on this book, poignant. Since I was a child, being told that I'm anointed. Born and bred to be a leader, fed and led to seek the seeker. All my bitches eaters, all my eyes be leeches. All my dogs be drinking water by the liters. I be nourished and moisturized. Got my eyes on the prize, I'm up next. Smooth road, make it move, smooth road, hit the groove, smooth roads, sun move, name is Dylan, spent some time, fucking within, looking at this world full of sin, asking questions like where do I begin, gotta start with the intentions, gotta catch your blessings, gotta walk to the mountaintop, see the horizon, gotta wisen up, gotta walk back down, it's the earth that I'm bound to. Road, smooth road, smooth road, I go, I flow on smooth sails, I roll. paper trails. I know I'll never fail. I grow, cause they eat my kale. Yeah, I'm living well. Yeah, I'll be up front, trying to get this deal done. I'm plotting on $1 million. I love this fucking feeling, it's so rewarding. Sipping green tea up in the morning. Just in my planks, yeah, I'm feeling gorgeous. Might hit the forest to do some exploring. Might pick up a book to get some perspectives. Might just take a look and learn another lesson. One thing for sure, I won't do no stressing. Now I'm seaside, doing some reflecting. You be inside, stuck on the bench, and my life's such a vibe. I'm so receptive, your life kinda dry. You not connected, got the one by my side. She looking like a centerfold. Ask her how she stay fit. She look and said,
olive oil.
There wasn't this stuff going on with FMTC and whatever, I probably would. Or even if it was like 2 to 3 years, like, I don't know. I mean, I know I'm coming back here, but
never throw dirt, you lose ground. My doggy just pulled up with the herb, yeah, we smoke it by the pound. Keep it peaceful, what goes around, come back around. Listen when your elder's speaking. It ain't a good deal if you don't need it. You only get what you need, not what you want. I'm trying to find meaning, I was once lost. I did my time bleeding, now I'm more dog. The bounty hunter, chasing all these commas. My favorite season, summer. I love to thank my mama and my father for teaching how to let your thoughts wander. And the value of some clean water. I keep it cool, I be just like water. Keep it packed when I'm running my plays. Got it stacked, but I'm hungry the same. Never lack when they coming my way. I'm in the back, just studying game. You in the back, just mumbling names. Got the map, but you stumbled, you lame. What you lack, tolerance for the pain. Chill when we met, but I decided to fade. Pretty sweet, I'm sliding away. From the beach to the stage, I got 'em watching my moves. All this game that I gave, got them copying tools. Gotta read, none of these problems is new. She believed what I say, cause it stays so smooth. Gotta hear when I heard that she moved through the field like a bird. And she moved from the still dirt where we grew. Yeah, I got it in the days. Find a time when I say, gonna share it every day. Life is fine when I stay in my lane. But the pain still remains through the rain, through the flame, through the change. All the same, got my name in this game. Can't complain, got my brain rearranged. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I kind of assumed that it would be an online store. Oh, yeah. That's exactly the thing that I'm referring to with respect to like why it's a good opportunity. You guys have a customer that essentially has to with your money. You know, like your one customer is well, not even your one customer, but all of your customers, at least the ones that you service the most and are like the priority of the business right now, they're all, you know, it's all funded by government. And so vote. That when I hear that, what screams to me is that like this is like every MBA's dream. If you go do a master's in business administration, like this is the perfect opportunity. Like, okay, so you have a business that's, I don't know what number actually is, but let's say the business is making $3 million a year, but this business has a GoDaddy website, there's been no online presence, and it's essentially one guy that goes around and sells stuff and has like provide for his family, and they fill in supplemental roles, but like that's the business. That's a dream. You're like, oh my gosh, okay. So much processes, so much labor, all this stuff can basically be, any of the knowledge work for the company can all be done for, I don't even know what they cost every month or whatever, but let's say $100,000, like you probably run this business for 20, 30 years. You know what I mean? Like, realistically. Making deals right now, team. that will receive these unlimited play, essentially as the send URL. And then I use OpenAI to essentially log on. I can go to v0, log in as me, authenticate, and type in this prompt, say I'm redesign this website, that's the URL they're going to play. And then it just gets redesign website. So it's all automatically going to get how many then plays me as well as it works as well as obviously the plumbing is there. And so you can take that step obviously the API to do some sort of thing for a specific company or with a specific customer ID or price or whatever it may be. And it'll be all up. And so it's like play it's like this database engine sort of thing. And like all of your customers can go to this. And you can throw a bunch of agents at your customers. So it can do all of your follow-up anything you want. And so I'm like, okay, that's really unfortunately, probably like right as the beginning of the stream, so the stream's like 20 minutes in, and I'm done with it, so I am gonna get back to it. Yeah, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna send you a link. You better comment, like all my videos, and subscribe. I'll be nice. Alright, man. Peace. Alright, really sorry guys. Like I said, just doing things. I'm gonna send him this link right now to this stream. You better like it. Better like it, bro. All in. Dude, I like this guy. David Thorpe. I'm gonna subscribe there. To this stream. You better like it. It's a good song.
my shoes and step in these loafers. Long road, wide sky full of vultures. I ain't know the start, I decide when it's over. Had to use my heart cause my mind left it open. Standing in the rain, soaking, floating. Another day to progress, it won't give. Still giving more to most, so I'm blessed. Hard to show it, I be toe to toe with anger and stress. Spliff is in motion. Strained ties, broken hearts and commotion. Know the stakes high, we was watching the globe spin, tipping off the axis. Some like a whirlwind, wearing all the damage, problem solving with my girlfriend. Must have skipped some, head spinning, I ain't ready to the spliff done. This my 6-1, judging off my success, I'm not another victim. I was geeking, trying to get it out my system. Feel the shakes, I've been in a haze for a couple days. Know the stakes, they don't ever phase. Niggas leaves, wait for seasons and they start changing.
That's kind of cool that it actually shares my thing.
Crush grapes in the glass faded. Piece to Al, piece to Chuck, I move.
But gracious. Okay, we're gonna close this down. So yes. Let's take a look at OpenAI. I don't know what's going on. OpenAI rate limits. Okay, so yeah, basically, guys, where we're at here is let's pull up this. I'm doing this stuff. Basically, what I did yesterday is go look at the clay table. So I think most people were here were did I spell refer? You spell refer. It doesn't matter. Okay, I need to clean up shop here, guys. Let me check out later. What is this? What is this called? Better pricing from every gong call. Close that down. How to read books faster with AI. I don't know. How to read books. Get rid of that. Okay, probably makes sense to Oh, new prompt for automation, Amplify. Okay, Get rid of that. Okay, so yeah, went through here. I get the referrer URL, and then I get the referrer name. Basically, why I need this piece of information is that in this API call, what's the term for this? The agent explained it. Get a grip. Implement a 2 endpoint strategy with in-memory storage. So, I'll open this up so we can also get an understanding of what it's saying. Basically, what we're doing is that we're going to stream this company information, so it'll accept each of these. I have an API point that where is it? In memory for aggregating company data. So initialize the client. We're going to go in here, create an interface that is company page data. We're going to take a URL. We're going to take a string, a markdown that's a string. And then we're going to map these strings to company data. Do we create a company data thing here? FS make directory. File system, make a directory. Output directory. And recursive true, catch this. So, no, what's it? Wait, what's this? Router post clay data. So yeah, we pass the data over. And essentially, we take the request body information, this is Apify results, or as an array, or no, this is deleted. So we console log receives a single batch. We take that, we say, hey, this result that you just received, we want you to call it results. And then if it's, length 0, don't do anything, but return the response status 400. This is an error. Convert results to a string format suitable for the prompt. So if it works, all great and dandy. What we actually do is that we go in, we JSON.stringify the results, and then we say you're an assistant that cleans and summarizes website data extracted by Apify. Focus on key content like headings, main text, calls to actions, etc. And please we process the results with this. And I wonder if it's the model that's giving us an issue. Message content to do. Decide what to do with the API response. OpenAI summary. Error details, error message. Endpoint 1, add chunk data. So we add the company data. The request body is going to contain a company ID, a URL, and a markdown. If there's no company ID, no URL, or type of markdown is undefined, return missing data fields. If company data store, which we know exists, dot has company ID, set company ID this, console log initialize storage. Man, there's a lot there. Basically, we set up an API endpoint that will receive these chunks. So I can send each of these as a HTTP. It'll send it to it. It should write to a markdown file that we have right here, which will do what exactly? Aggregated data. Page this. Gallery, treatment gallery, wobbling, wiggling. Orthodontic request appointment, name, office, email, existing patient, referral form, dental implant, blog, some details about different blog posts that are in there. Snoring, vitamins, cavities, about Smilewell Dental Clinic, message just from Smilewell. This is about us. Some of our principal doctors. Again, this is about us. Associate director, contact us, patient intake form. I don't know if I see a landing page here, which is kind of important, but whatever. What we see here is that all of this information was received, except for just the main page. And then we go in here, raw aggregate data saved to this file, sending aggregate data to OpenAI. Error finalizing data for company AI. Okay. Status 429. Server Cloudflare. You can see your current quota. This is what I mean, where I'm like, I feel like I looked at this and I did not exceed my current quota. Rate limit for each request. You exceed your current quota. Increase your limits. Maybe it's because this current usage limit, set a lower threshold alert. Let's try, is O4 Mini available? General, admin, keys, members, projects, billing. All right, let's see if this loads. I'm thinking maybe like default project created September 21st. Archived. To create a new Clay. Let's just call it Clay. Cursor. Default. Yeah, I don't know. I called it breed. Personal. This is where I get a little bit confused in terms of what is the actual issue. API usage is subject to rate limits applied on tokens per minute requests per minute or day. Other model-specific limits or organization rate limits are listed below. Visit our rate limits guide to learn how rate limits work. Tokens per minute. So I can pass O4 mini tokens per minute. Let's go. OpenAI O4 mini pricing. Okay, so yeah, O4 mini is way save 50% on inputs and outputs with the batch API to run tasks synchronously over 24 hours. I don't really want to do that. This is smartest model for complex tasks. Affordable model balancing speed and intelligence. Fastest, most cost effective for low latency tasks. I'm going to use 4.1 nano. So let's go 4.1 nano. And let's fix go in here, we're going to find anywhere it says model. 4.1 nano. Let's go up here. Let's try this again. See if this works this time. Did it do it again? Let's try it. And start. Does that persist over? It's queued. Says no data was found for company ID. Was it already finalized or never started? Okay, so I was getting rate limit issues. I've gone and I've changed the model that I'm using. And I chose to run that final API call that actually takes the aggregate company data chunks that we did in the previous calls. And then I guess passes it to OpenAI to summarize it, which we then try to then summarize again to pass to V0. The issue is that it's saying in Clay received a 404 error from the API with content status error. Messages, no data was found for the company ID, NV Well Dental. Was it already finalized or never started? We already did this yesterday. And so that data that should have been passed, I can see it in my Git repo. It is living in this document nvwelldental.md. Where are we actually checking this data within our current function? Like, does this have to be run synchronously, or how do we actually go check the aggregate data in this markdown file to then summarize and pass to ChatGPT, or to have ChatGPT properly summarize? Oh, shoot. That's not what I want to do. All right, guys. So this is one of the things that I worked on yesterday. We're going to make this prompt better. Go into here, you go chat GPT. I got to randomly switch models. No, I'm running fine. Finalize company data. And this is the hardest part about vibe coding, I would say, is that Mm. Um, you are an assistant tasked with summarizing aggregated markdown content scraped from multiple web. I.E. about us, etc. You are tasked with creating a taxonomy that details the URL endpoints and the associated content with them, such as copy, images, copy and images. That sounds better. I don't know why this would make it normalize company ID. Um, I did it. Add company data. Is there a tool for me to see, like, what are all the... let's... I want to untrack this. We're gonna delete that. And then we're gonna try this again. So run all these rows. Just look at the API. Oh. Is it received? It does not look like it. Um, 404 not found. Let's Nuke this, run that again. This. At some point, I'm gonna have to move this over to a grok, I think. Or Replit, rather. These are all queued. Server, okay, so now what's the error? Clear receipt of 404 error from the API with content in the endpoint this. Tell me what could be the issue, where to look for stuff. Low-key gonna take this off the screen so I don't show my API key.
You're sick. Say, friend. I got a question for you here. Do I hold for a sec? You've heard of the body heat setup thing? Have you used that before? Okay. It won't let me use it unless I'm in a bunch of through that. Really? Yeah, like the shape of the stone. I believe that's kind of looks like having it.
You're calling API with the right key, but it's tied to a different org or project. What do I do here? I don't want to show this. Just duplicate the monitor setup. Just cursor. And the ASIS, we're gonna add a source that is like a event list, audio display capture, let's say a window capture. Add source. New source. Cursor, select an option.
Yeah.
All right, so we are going to take a break here, guys. 1 second. Um, take off.
This is a course that I'm really excited to put out. This is going to be a relatively quick one, but the goal here is I want to teach you my brand new coding workflow that I am now using in my day-to-day tasks. Okay, this is my new workflow, my new active workflow that I'm using. It's replaced my current one, and I have found it to be super reliable over the past couple days. So just to give some quick context, OpenAI is kind of doing a 12 days of Christmas style thing where they are slowly releasing a bunch of different things every single day for 12 days. And the very first day, they released this brand new model called O1 Pro mode. Okay, this is an interesting variation of OpenAI's O1 model, which they also released. If I click here, you'll notice that there are now 3 versions of O1. Previously, it was O1 Preview, O1, and O1 Mini. Okay, now we have O1. This is just their new base updated model. O1 Mini, this is still the one that's been existing in the past. And then we also have, along with the new updated O1, we also have O1 Pro mode. Okay, so quick note here. I want to talk a little bit about O1 versus O1 Pro before we get into things. If you are on OpenAI's standard paid plan, even if you're on a free plan, I'm actually not sure if you have access to O1 or not. But if you're on kind of a traditional paid plan, you will definitely have access to O1. Most of what you see in this course is probably going to still work with O1. with the exception that O1 Pro, and I've A/B tested this pretty extensively at this point, O1 Pro is in fact a more powerful model. I'm not sure exactly if it's its own model or if it's simply O1 with the ability to use more test time compute. Okay, it's accessible on OpenAI. I think that you do get a file, but we're going to be using O1 out, okay, and what we kind of want to put this quick course out so you can kind of try this workflow out for yourself and evaluate existing workflows.
I feel like this is going to be with
move things around. So for a couple of requests are going to take it's been a little bit. Kind of either just watch this video in full again in the next lesson, and we'll have that video for not currently active workflow, the API in-depth breakdown of this workflow, and I do in verse 3.5 Sonnet and is to use this workflow.
Let's go setup.
Because O1 Pro is not yet available in the API, we have to kind of get creative with how we're actually going to build our workflow. And to do that, you're going to need a variety of tools, okay?
Basically, guys, what I'm looking for is I guess I don't really know. Ideally, something that kind of goes through. Let's just figure this out. Let's say Perplexity AI. I'm looking for a YouTube video, hopefully nothing more than 20 minutes long, that kind of details, setting up OpenAI API keys in a particular project for a particular thing. As I'm running into rate limit errors, not really exactly sure what the issue is, but I know I have plenty of room in my rates and I have sufficient, money in the account that it shouldn't be giving me issues. So I imagine I'm using the wrong API key or something of that sort.
Hello, so are you facing the OpenAI's rate limit error that says 429? If so, then you're on the correct video, because in this video I'm going to show you 7 different ways to troubleshoot this error, and then I'm also going to give you a secret bonus tip at the end. So this tutorial is specifically for make.com and OpenAI, but even if you're using custom code or some other app, then also this video
Make a short YouTube video detailing how to use Clay's HTTP API. Muting up again as I grind this coffee, and we'll go back to this.
would be relevant for you. So stick till the very end, and I'm pretty sure this video will solve all your issues. So hello everybody, my name is Yashika Jain. I'm the founder of Automates AI. At Automates AI, we build automated systems for businesses that use the power of AI. And being an AI automation agency owner, I use OpenAI's API literally every single day. This error is quite common. And in the beginning, when I used to get this error, I used to freak out. But then I figured out, and here I am making a video on it. And the secret bonus tip that I'm going to tell you, you won't find that anywhere else. So let's begin. So OpenAI limits the number of tokens that you can spend in 1 minute. And if you surpass that limit, then you get this error that is called the rate limit error. So number of tokens that you spend in 1 minute. What are tokens? You can think of tokens as text characters, and 4 English text characters are somehow equivalent to 1 token. So if in your prompt you have A, B, C, D, then that is equal to 1 token. But you don't need to worry about that, okay? So what actually computes your total token consumption? So it's your input prompt, your knowledge files, and your output. Wherever you're using text, whenever you're inputting something or getting something, that all computes to your total token consumption. So let's say OpenAI said that you cannot use more than 10,000 tokens in 1 minute, but you used 12,000 tokens, right? Then you're going to get the 429 rate limit error. Okay, so now let's understand what are the factors on which it depends. So firstly, it depends on the AI model that you're using, and secondly, it depends on your account's usage tier. Don't worry about it, I'll talk more when we will be troubleshooting the error. So I hope you understood why you're getting this error. Now let's solve it. So firstly, I have embedded a link here, so make sure to click on this link and go to the website, right? I have the link to this entire document in my description, so you can just open that up and go to this particular link. This will be handy as we will be solving the issue. Okay, so the first way to troubleshoot this error that is quite common is to change the OpenAI model that you're using. For example, if you're using GPT-4, then you can switch to GPT-4o mini. That gives you will see that every model has a different token limit. For example, GPT-4o allows you to spend only 30,000 tokens per minute, but GPT-4o mini helps you spend 200,000 tokens per minute. So the best solution to your problem could be to just switch to the model that is giving you the maximum token limit amount. What I do is I switch between GPT-4o, and if changing the model solves your problem, then
I'm skipping through this because I did a simple mock request, and we know that it's not the tokens that are being the issue here.
if not, we have a parameter that is called maximum completion tokens, and that is available when you're custom coding, or even if you're using a no-code platform, it's going to give you a place to add the maximum tokens limit. So this is generally for people who don't want to spend, let's say more than $20. So they kind of restrict the number of tokens that OpenAI can use. But in your case, you're already facing restrictions, and in that case, you don't want to put more restrictions to it. So simply go there and leave it empty, or you can set it to the maximum amount. So I have the spelling wrong here. I'm going to correct that after the video. But yeah, so let's say that you're using GPT-4o mini and it gives you an allowance of 200,000 tokens. So what you could do is you could either leave this parameter as empty, or you can set it up to 200,000. I personally like to leave it empty. So in the case of make.com, I'm going to show you how this works. So this is an automation that creates social media posts automatically. And then this is one of the OpenAI modules, that is the chat completion module. And if you scroll down, you will see this parameter that says maximum completion tokens. So either leave it empty, set it to 0, or set it to the maximum level. Okay, don't go anywhere in between. Don't try to keep it at 2,000, 4,000, because that's the reason why you're getting the error, right? So yeah, just keep that in mind. And if you still are facing the issue, then let's go to the third point. The third point is quite obvious: cut down on your tokens. So let's say that your input prompt is very, very long. So what you can do is you can go to ChatGPT and tell it to kind of shorten or summarize your prompt so that you're saying more in less words. Okay. Also, if you're repeating something in your prompt 2 to 3 times, then kind of remove that, because that's costing you tokens and getting you the error. Apart from that, if you're using knowledge base or the file search capability, try and delete a few files that are unnecessary or that are like too long. Since tokens also depend on the output, you can also ask your AI model to give you shorter outputs or okay. So if you're getting like if your model allows 200, or if you're using, you can use their, it's gonna connect, and you might get in here. Okay, so now what's gonna 0 and dealing with large data, and this is for make.com only. Then surpass 3 times. This is an instant trigger. So an instant trigger is basically as soon as the processing learn sequence automation OpenAI would it then. So then this one for the bonus, and this is stuff that's basic. So that is because the company. Yes, you heard me right. So I'm gonna tell you a story. So I had this client. And he wanted to set up an automation that processes huge data, okay? And we started a new account for him, so he was obviously a very new user of OpenAI, and OpenAI did not allow him to use a lot of tokens. And obviously the automation needed OpenAI on a took about 2, then you will be able to see your usage tier, okay? Now usage tier is based on the amount that you spend on OpenAI. So if you spend more than $50, then you will be upgraded to tier 2 and your limits will increase. But obviously someone would, and you can message the customer support with your project help, and that is why you might have something else. It's automation agent projects. Yeah, so that's all that I wanted to cover. I guide you and kind of take you through each and every module that Make provides.
Creating an OpenAI API key is easy and free. Go to openai.com, then click on Login. Then click on Sign Up to create a new account or sign in with one of these providers.
I don't think this
on
is the
this
right one for
page,
me.
click the screen, key, your API keys. Then on this page, click on Create New Secret Key. Here we can give our key a name, and we can also set the permissions for this key. All means there are no restrictions. Under restricted, we can control the permissions for models, model capabilities, and a lot more. Or select read only to only allow read-only activities using this key. Then click on Create Secret Key. Copy and store this key in a safe place, because after closing this pop-up, you will not be able to view this key again. You can change the permissions of a key by clicking on Edit Key.
Wrong organization or project quota. You're looking at the same org API is tied to your organization need matches. Okay, I don't know if this is really the right stream. Does not feel like the right place to do this. All right, let's lock in. Yep. Primary suspects. Okay, well, let's get deeper into number one. Fix. Go to this usage and confirm you're looking at the same organization project your API key is tied to. Organizational ID matches the one in here. View legacy dashboard. No. Group by line item. Default project. Okay, so I'm in the default project one. Yeah, we're gonna go back to just cursor. Okay, so we check our API keys here. It's been 10 requests. Storage usage, API keys are here. What do the logs say? Traces. Use the agents SDK for that. No batches found. Evals, fine tuning, storage, usage. Then we go to API keys. Last use. Let's say Clay. No. All permissions, API reference in the docs. Go up here. Dashboard completions. Okay. Let's just cursor laptop monitor setup me. What's this one? Okay. Laptop, just cursor. This is the monitor setup. Okay. So if we go look over here, what am I looking for? Looking for RM. What does this say? So you're looking at the same org. When I look. Let's do this. We're gonna put this here, and let's press play. You guys can watch that. I'm
Video, I'm
gonna
going to
go
show you my
handle
full workflow for OpenAI's new O1 Pro
this
mode model.
thing
So I'm going to show you how to take the
camera.
code that O1 generates in ChatGPT, and you can actually apply that as soon as possible into your project. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, let me just show you the app case. So this is the starter template. One of the things that we have is we have a to-do case. So this is a fully, this uses super basic case. We're using Postgres. This is a very basic to-do, right? So I can add a to-do here, and that's going to add a to-do, right? But one of the things that I would like is if I could add sub-to-dos here, okay? So in my O1 workflow, this is how I will go about this request, okay? So what I'm going to go back over to this page here, or this window, and you'll see on the left, I have ChatGPT. Okay, so I'm just going to do new chat. You'll see I have ChatGPT O1 Pro mode selected. Again, you can try this with O1. I think you'll still get pretty good results, but you may notice that I do get a bit better results with Pro mode. Okay, I've done a lot of A/B testing here, and I'm telling you, Pro mode is like absolutely ridiculous, especially with this kind of workflow. And then I'm going to go over to repo prompts here, and I'm just going to go full screen here for a second so you can kind of see everything that's going on. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually just going to clear my selection. You'll see everything is gone. I'm also going to clear these up here, okay? And what we're going to be doing here is we're basically going to build the entire piece of context that we're going to feed into our request to ChatGPT, okay? So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually just going to select this folder here, okay? So this is my actual project directory here, and it's going to select every single thing in here, except it's going to ignore anything that I have in this filters, okay? So you can see, this gets rid of things like node modules, things like that, so you don't have all of that extra bulky context that's going to be completely irrelevant, okay? So I've kind of set up that ignore file here. You can see, I'm ignoring some things like my migrations folder, my cursor rules file, package lock.json, all that kind of stuff, okay? So you can see when I select this at the bottom here, it says a little bit small, but you can see that's about 47,000 tokens of context. So one thing to keep in mind, the requests to O1 Pro can fit up to 128K tokens of context, okay? So we are in fact within that window. I typically have been keeping my requests just for reference at about 60K tokens-ish. That's about where I'll cut things off. You can kind of get more efficient with those. You can also max those out a little bit more. That's kind of the sweet spot for me. I think I might try and figure out my workflow to kind of get that number to be down so things are a little bit faster. But this is kind of how I'm working right now. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to go to this top right area here, and I actually have 3 stored prompts that I want to use for every single request. I have my O1 Pro, my base prompts here. I'll talk about all these in just a second here. I have my template here, my cursor rules template. Okay, so I'm actually going to be injecting into my O1 request. I'm going to be using the cursor rules file here. Okay, so I am a very detailed cursor ruler. So you can see this is 481 lines of all sorts of cursor rules for my project. This includes things like, project structure, rules for typing, for envs, for front-end components, for server components, back-end requests, every single thing that I want the AI to have context about when I'm working in cursor. I have really detailed, written out in detail in my cursor rules file. And so what I'm actually doing here is if we actually go look this up here, you'll see, and this is a little bit small, but you'll see I just have the entire file in here. Okay, so that's going to give O1 some really, really good instructions of how the code should actually work. And this is going to dramatically increase the performance, right? We're going to get much better code because O1 actually knows what it needs to do. Okay, so my O1 base prompt here is it just says, you are an expert software engineer, tasked with following my instructions, use the included project instructions as general guide. Okay, so really general stuff, but just want to make sure that it is included. The other one we're going to turn on here is O1 format. Okay, and this one matters a ton. Okay, if I bring up the edit section, I'll kind of show you what's going on here. Okay, so you can see we have this prompt here that says you will respond with two sections, a summary section and an XML section. So this is super important because this is what's going to determine how O1 is going to respond to us. And in order for this workflow to work, we need O1 to give us an XML response enclosed in a bunch of tags so that we can correctly send, we can copy and paste that XML response. And what we're going to be using is we're going to be using that O1 XML parser tool that I built. Okay, so you can see this is running on localhost 3001. Okay, what you're going to end up doing is you're going to paste that XML here with whatever your project directory is, and that is going to automatically apply all of those changes to your code base. Okay, super cool. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to hit cancel because I don't want to edit that. And then sort of the last piece here is we actually have our file tree. So if I just copy this and paste it in here really quick, you'll see that repo prompt actually generates our full project file tree here, which is super cool because that really helps O1 understand where everything goes, right? So your code is in the right place. It knows what it has access to, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so that's pretty cool. And then in the instructions here, we're going to actually say what we want. Okay, and before we get to our instructions, what you'll notice is we now have 50.7K thousand tokens. So we added several thousand tokens of context, primarily from like the cursor rules file. Okay, but all of that's going to be really important to get the results that we want. Okay, especially this format. If you don't get the format back how you want it, you're not going to be able to actually use the XML parsing tool, and your workflow is going to be a little more cumbersome. Okay, so I'm trying to remember what I even said. So we want to add sub-to-dos. Okay, so what we're going to do here in the instructions, and I'm going to use Flow Voice for this, is I'm just going to kind of talk to this about what I want. In my app, I would like to add the ability to have sub-to-dos, so please help me implement that into my app. Okay, so sometimes I'll like ramble for like a minute or two about what I want. This is a pretty straightforward request, so we're just going to be using this one. So what you can do at this point is you can see here, if I click on this arrow, you'll see we have include save prompt, include files, include user instructions, include file tree. Okay, so this is going to include all of these blue prompts. That's what this first checkbox does. The second checkbox is going to include all the files that we added here. Okay, great. User instructions are going to be whatever is in this text box here, and then our green files are here. That is what this last one is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit copy, and this is going to copy all 51,000 tokens over to my clipboard. We're going to go. Let's actually just use the full ChatGPT window for a little bit more room. Okay, so we're going to paste this in, and you can see here, if I go to the scroll bar here, this is our entire request. Okay, so this is a monster. You can see we have those meta prompts, we have all of our.
Feature M is valid, live, and connected to an OpenAI org with active models, so that wasn't the issue. The issue is an invalid key. Since the key is The issue isn't an invalid key. Since the key is valid, but you're getting insufficient quota, it means your API key belongs to a different organization with no quota assigned. So you're seeing usage and budget for a different organization in the dashboard, one tied. Man. OpenAI's dashboard is actually, like, I mean, maybe it's set up with good infrastructure for something more than what I need, but since key organization here's what to do. Find the correct org for your active key. Use a drop down in the top right to switch between organization. When you find escape project, yeah, we're gonna do that for sure. That's so cringe. Oh my gosh. From the screenshot, the clay post key, probably the one in your M, shows last used never, but your dashboard logs activity for another key which isn't shown here. That means one of these is true. You're not running your app with the env key you think you are, or config.openai.api key has hard-coded elsewhere or been overwritten. Once you're calling a different key, probably it presents an instrument. Let's figure this in 3 easy steps. Explicitly log this. Once you confirm the key. Okay. If you confirm the key and it's unused, meaning the app is likely picking up a different key somehow. Let's follow your steps to pinpoint where the disconnect is. First, check .env and log active key. First, I'll check your main entry point to ensure .env config is called early. Then I'll add the log statement right before the OpenAI calls. See apps, maybe even earlier. Let's check. User confirms the API key. Step 3, restart your person. Now, make sure you completely stop and restart your development server, and however you run it. This is crucial. And clear any potentially cache environment variables from old processes. After restarting, trigger one of the endpoints, test OpenAI. Again, you should see. Okay, so we're going to accept that. And then we're going to go into server. We're going to nuke the server. And we're going to restart it. Okay. Okay. Server has been restarted. Let's test this. What am I looking for? Oh man, I'm getting angry. I'm getting bummed out about what's going on here. Run command. Okay, server started. Let's hit the endpoint again. So now look at your server's console where you see server listening. You're looking for 2 things: the log key prefix. Let me know what that prefix shows. Well, you should be able to access what it shows, but okay.
our code base injected into here. And what we're going to do is we're going to send this off. So what you can see it's scrolling down all the way. By the way, OpenAI, if any of your engineers are watching, if you can make this not like a smooth scroll, just make that an instant scroll. That'd be super great. Just waiting for that to get really annoying. But what you'll see here is that O1 is going to start working here. This is going to take typically about 2 to 3 minutes, depending on how big your request is. Okay, so on a 50,000 token request, it's probably going to be closer to 2 or 3 minutes. So what's going to happen is O1 is going to respond back to us in the format that we specify in O1 format, okay, in this kind of meta prompt that we're using as part of our pre-save formats, okay? So let's go ahead and actually talk about this while O1 works. So you'll see here's how you should structure the XML. And what we're doing here is we're defining the XML structure that we want O1 Pro to respond with. Okay, so you can see we have code changes, so everything's going to be in this code changes tag here. You can see we have change files, and then all of the files are going to have a file tag with a summary, okay, an operation, a path, and the actual file code. Okay, so what's going to happen here is that we're going to get a nice little summary. Okay, you can remember 2 sections, summary section. Then we're also going to get the XML section back as a markdown code block. Okay, so let's see. Looks like O1 Pro is still thinking. Okay, that's good. That's test time compute at work. That's the entire point of the model. Like one, that means it is doing work for us. Okay, you can almost think of it like a human engineer. We gave our developer a task and okay. So what we need to do once we get the response back is we're actually just going to hit the copy button and we're going to go into our parser. Okay, and what I'm actually going to do right now is I'm going to jump into cursor right here, and I'm going to do get the working directory here. Okay, you have 2 options when you're working in this tool. You can either set the directory in as actually I need to drag the so this is the repository for the XML parser here. Okay, so you can see what you want to do is you want to type pwd for print working directory here, and then that's going to give you your directory, and you can either post that in the UI or you can post that in a .env file. Okay, so the UI is going to take priority. If you don't have one in the UI, it'll take whatever is set as the environment variable there. Okay, so let's go over to our tool. We'll just use the UI because that makes for a good demo. Let's see if O1 is done. Okay, so the request is done, and you'll see this like big bulky box here. This copy code button. Okay, so we're literally just going to hit copy code. This is the XML response that we got back from O1 Pro. So what we're going to do, I'm not going to apply this yet. I'm just going to paste it in and go to the very top here. You can see we got the changes that we need for our entire feature request. Okay. And then if I scroll up here, what you'll notice is if we go a little bit down, also OpenAI, if you're listening to this, it'd be really nice because these requests are so big. If there was like a arrow that could take you to the start of each message, because some of these requests get kind of crazy. But anyways, you can see this is the summary section. Okay, so this gives us a pretty quick little glance at what's going on. You can see the model here updated our database schema. Okay, so we're gonna have to do a migration here, which is totally fine. That's expected. You can see it's tweaking our page.tsx. Okay, so this is the to-do page, and then it's also tweaking some of the actions. Okay, so it's updating some of those CRUD queries that we're gonna do, and then it's even updating the component for the to-do list. Okay. And then you can see, again, we just have that entire XML block, which is what we need for this apply to work. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to show you just to prove that this is kind of working how we would expect. If we go, I'm doing an O1 testing branch here, so I'll publish this branch. You'll see our Git tree is empty. We have no changes. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go to our XML parser here, and we're going to hit apply, and you'll see changes were applied successfully here. And what we'll do is we'll go over to our repository, and you can see we now have instantly applied all of those changes. So let's kind of go through that and almost do like a code review just to see what's going on here. Obviously, depending on the request, you're going to want to like review this to make sure, right? It's almost like if your AI is making you a PR, right? You want to review those pull requests, but basically it looks like everything's good. You can see we're getting the sub to-dos. We're building all those CRUD actions here for sub to-dos. You can see this is updating the UI. Okay, that's great. You can see we got some helpers here. Our DB file. Okay, so you can see like even little things like making sure we're correctly importing the updated table here to our schema, right? Exports, minor things like that. All of this is getting tackled, which is pretty crazy. You know, and that's a combination of our prompting, that's a combination of just the raw power of O1 Pro, all that kind of stuff. So what I need to do, because it actually generated a new table here, I need to just generate that schema, npm run db generate. Okay, I'm using Drizzle. Drizzle's the best. Shout out to the team at Drizzle. Love you guys. And then we're going to migrate that. Okay, so I didn't show you this. So I already set up like a super base project in a Clerk, and I have those envs all set up. Okay. And so what I'm going to do here is now we're going to go to our app, and we're going to go see what our errors are. Okay, so this is kind of the last step. O1 one-shotted as much of this as possible, and what we're going to do now at this point is we're going to kind of work in cursor and sort of take the last 10% of issues that need to be solved, and we're going to go kind of handle that. Okay, so it looks like we have an issue in sub-to-dos schema. Sub-to-dos schema, so let's go open that up, and let's see what our error is. Okay, so it seems as if server actions must be async functions here. Okay, so we're getting some sort of weird error there. So what I can do here is now we're just going to work in our good friend cursor here. And I'm also going to run npm run type check here just to see if maybe we have a typing error somewhere. This sometimes can catch those errors. And it looks like if we use cursor chat here, we can get that working here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click through. Okay, so this is actually, so O1 actually just put use server here. We just got to get rid of that. Okay, and you can see cursor figured that out really quickly. We should now be able to go back to our app. Okay, and everything's gonna work. So you can see we got the UI for sub to dos. Now let's actually test if this works. Okay, so let's just say I have test. Let's just do sub to do test 1. Let's try adding that. Okay, it looks like create works. Let's verify if we do a refresh here that's actually updating here. Great, that is. If we go to our to dos here or our Supabase project, refresh things, you'll see we have a sub to dos table. All of that data is in there. Okay, so it looks like everything's hooked up. Let's test deletes really quick. Let's just do test 2 here. Let's do an add. Let's see if we can check that. Hit refresh. Okay, so update works. Delete, refresh, okay, delete works. So what we were able to do there was we were able to take that really basic request here in O1, one-shotted almost every single thing. The only thing we had to do was go in cursor and we had to just get rid of that use server action, but we were just able to ask that use server directive, we were able to ask the AI in cursor what that problem was, right? We just copy and pasted the error message, really simple one-line removal, boom, we got every single thing we needed, okay? So obviously because I'm having to film this, the task took a little bit longer than it really normally would, right? But you can imagine in a normal workflow, you can go from those, building the context here in repo prompt, to pasting it over to ChatGPT, to waiting for that response from O1 Pro, to pasting it into the XML parser, and then going and making those last little tweaks in cursor. You can do that really fast, right? So the reason I wanted to film this was because this is the fastest way that I've been able to come up with to get reliable results that can sort of one-shot or kind of 80 to 90% shot these entire feature requests, and you can actually even chain these and ask for multiple features at once. And O1 can't, like I'm telling you guys, this model is absolutely crazy. O1 Pro mode is pretty insane. So that is the stack that you need in order to execute this workflow. Okay. So again, the idea is you go from natural language instructions to, the entire code getting written from O1 Pro, right? You're avoiding things like having to copy and paste. You're avoiding things like having to go manually build your context windows. You're avoiding, not just copy and pasting into ChatGPT, but out, right? So you're getting all of the speed upgrades that you can by using this workflow. I've been doing this for like 2 days now. It's honestly kind of insane. I'm really hoping OpenAI doesn't nerf O1 Pro, and I'm also really hoping that OpenAI makes whatever O1 Pro is available via the API. Obviously, they're doing their little 12 days of Christmas thing. I'm hoping one of those days sneaks this model into the API, so that would be great. So that's the end of the workflow section. I'm going to talk for just a little bit more about some of the ins and outs of this for any of you that are curious about that. Okay, so we're going to talk about speed, we're going to talk about efficiency, we're going to talk about performance, everything that you need to know to maximize your coding ability with O1 Pro. This is also applicable to O1 standard if you don't have $200 a month Pro mode. But just if you do notice performance issues when you try it with regular O1, Pro mode is significantly better. So I do just want to point that out at the very start here. So let's talk about the stack that we're going to be using here. Okay, so we're going to be using a tool called Repo Prompt. Okay, repoprompt.com is how you find this. This is a free download, and it's great because it allows us to really easily copy large pieces of context from our code base on our local machine into ChatGPT. Okay, that's a big kind of speed issue because you don't want to have to go manually copy and paste things back and forth. So what Repo Prompt is going to do is going to allow us to build really sophisticated kind of pieces of context. We're talking, you can see it down here, 50.7K tokens. Okay, so we're going to be working with lots and lots of tokens. That's one of the nice things about Pro mode. You get 128K tokens of context, so you can work with really big requests, and because they're unlimited, right, you can do a lot of different things. Okay, so that's kind of the first tool that we're going to be using. One of the tools that I use is called flowvoice.ai. Okay, flowvoice.ai. This is the speech to text tool that I use. So I will use this quite often. If you've seen some of my videos before, you probably noticed me using that previously, but I'll use that to kind of increase the speed at which I can work, right? So speaking is about 3 times faster than typing, so that comes in handy quite a bit. You're also going to need my O1 XML parser. Okay, so I built this tool to tackle the other direction. Okay, so Repo Prompt kind of takes us from Codebase into ChatGPT, but we need a tool to take us from inside of ChatGPT. And once we have the XML response back from O1, we need a fast way to apply that diff to our Codebase. Okay, and so my O1 XML parser tool here will get you all set up. So go to that repo, that's github.com/mckwrigley/O1-XML-parser here. Okay, I have a little quick start guide so you can get up and running. It's a really simple tool if you kind of follow this blueprint, but that will allow you to take the responses that you get back from O1 and apply it really easily and instantly so that you don't have to go copy and paste everything from here into your IDE. Okay, so we're also going to be using Cursor. You can pretty much use whatever IDE you want. This workflow is actually not super cursor dependent, but kind of at the end of my workflow, I do like to work on some of those kind of small last final tweaks with cursor tab, cursor chat, things like that. So if you are familiar with a cursor heavy workload, one of the steps that this largely replaces is kind of your cursor composer type workflow. Okay, so we're kind of going to be getting away from cursor composer and replacing that with this kind of O1 Pro step. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about prompting with this model. Okay, so I cannot emphasize this enough. If you lazy prompt this model, you're going to get worse results. Okay, so the trick is, how do you put the time in to come up with the fastest process you can to reliably get good results from the model? Okay, and been testing this a bunch. A lot of this is based on my existing workflow, or the workflow that I've been using before I began using this one, which is all done in Cursor. And a big part of that is going to be your cursor rules. So I'm actually just going to show you. I think, yeah, let's just take a look at the cursor rules project. So you can see I get really detailed here. I outline my tech stack. And one of the things that I want to emphasize too is that I've picked a tech stack that works really, really good with AI models. So we're pretty much, we're using TypeScript exclusively, which AI models excel at. We're using really popular library, right? We're using Next.js, we're using Tailwind, Postgres and Supabase are well known at this point. clerk authentication, obviously Stripe. Okay, so everywhere that we're writing code, kind of the core foundation, the very, level one of our code is something that models are really good at understanding, which is part of why we've chosen the tech stack that we've chosen, right? This is what I work with. As you can see, I've really let the model know here. I've let the model know how I structure my project, which is pretty nice. And then of course we have with the with repo prompts, we also include the file trees. Okay, so O1 Pro is getting a really good context and really good feel for like how everything is structured, which is great. You can see, I'm doing everything from telling the model how to import things, how do I want files named, how should you handle envs, how do I want types handled, right? I work with TypeScript, so how do I want types filed? I have all these front end rules, right? Here's how you should do components. Here's how you should organize components. Here's how you should fetch data. Here's when you should use server components. Here's when you should use client components, right? Here's how data schemas are. Here's an example of a data schema, so you know how to write that code. This is incredible way to work. Okay, so this has been powering my cursor workflow for quite often. This is basically saying like, almost as if I added somebody to my team, like, hey, here's our tech stack and here's how to use it. Like, if you've never seen this before, here's like everything you need to know. And what happens is when you pass this context to the model, it knows how to work, right? It takes whatever your request is and it says, okay, the user has outlined for me how they, how I should write the code, how it should be organized, why we're doing things the way we do it, all that kind of stuff. So if you do in fact use it, and again, you can look at this cursor files on my my template repo here. That file is included here. If you do kind of want to see an example of that, you will obviously have to customize this for your own project, right? If you're using a completely different tech stack from me, totally fine. I do recommend this. It's like if you're, especially if you're not a developer or something and you kind of haven't formulated your own, you're just getting started with this stuff. It's a really great, tech stack. This is all popular stuff, very standard. We're not doing anything weird here, so I'm not like throwing some like random stuff at you guys. Like this is all very popular stuff. So it's the kind of thing where you ask AI models or you go into Perplexity or whatever, you do some Googles, you're gonna find resources for this. This is all good stuff. But the point there is if you want to get requests, that are as good as the one you just saw here, you're really going to need to prompt. And the best way that you can instantly upgrade your prompt there is, of course, using kind of the format that I just showed you. And then, of course, the other thing you'll really need, and I'm actually going to do this right now, because I need to put this in the repository here. So you guys are going to see me do some code really quick. So what we're actually going to do here is we're just going to go to the README. I'm not going to do this with O1 because it's literally just a single copy and paste. But I'm going to do the XML prompt. Okay, and what we're going to do here is we're just going to paste that in there. Add O1 XML prompt. Okay, so now you guys can go copy and paste that prompt, which is great. That would be really annoying to decipher from the video. Okay, so if you go to the XML parser here, we go to the README, you will see this is the format here for the prompt. So you'll see that that's kind of annoying that the styling's a little weird, but that's okay. You can just literally just go like this, copy paste the entire thing, and then put that into your instance of repo prompt. Where's my repo prompt? It's under this, isn't it? Okay, so that's going to go into new, and then you're going to want to create one called O1 format or like format or something like that, right? That's going to go in there, and of course you're going to want to attach those. So I don't want to ramble too much here, but the really important things is you want to use O1 Pro. Okay, I know people aren't going to want to, if you don't use these models professionally for coding purposes, it may not be worth the price tag for you, which is totally fine. Then you'll use it with O1. Let me know how things work because I literally been doing this for 2 days and it's super reliable in O1 Pro. If it's not reliable in O1, let me know because I would be curious. I did do A/B testing. I think I mentioned that already, and it worked for the most part. But O1 Pro definitely takes it to a new level. Again, repo prompt, whisper flow, cursor. Make sure you clone the XML parser here. Okay, you really have to make sure that you put the time in to build those cursor rules. I'm telling you, this is going to like materially impact the quality that you get. The O1 formatter is an absolute requirement. You cannot get around it. You will not get the XML format that you need for this tool if you don't use that prompt. Okay. And of course, this is O1 I'm not actually going to include this anymore. This is like you could actually probably improve this a little bit. But yeah, this is my workflow, guys. I will probably do some more videos over the coming week or so to show you this a little bit more in action and like production grade use cases. Obviously, we just did a silly little test here, but the point is I just wanted to show you how it works. So if you found that helpful, great. Take off. This is what I spend most of my time on here. I really love teaching people. I love teaching AI skills. We have a lot of good courses up right now. There's a ton of updates coming around, but we're also going to be having this O1 workflow course that I'll show you a couple more tricks in. So if you found that helpful, you may want to check out Take Off.
Oh man. Okay, let's watch something else for you guys while this is happening. I might as well. I'm like baffled right now. Dude, this is so nutty. Um, okay, so well, this is, this is super unfortunate. Yeah. Uh, I don't even know how to explain what's going on right now, guys. This is just some garbage, really. Let's close that. Close that. This is my config import.env. .env. Let's change the stream numbers. Yeah. So basically, guys, don't really know what's going on. Cursor, I'm trying to hit the OpenAI endpoint, but my environment variable thinks that my API key is something that it is not. Is pretty like simply that's what's going on. Yeah, I mean, I've gone through, I've changed it. I'm using obviously cursor to try to help debug this, but it seems like something is setting my env environment variable. Seems like something like, I'll give you an example here. Like if I go echo OpenAI API key, I'm hoping it doesn't show shit. Yeah, it doesn't show anything, which is really weird because when I do curl, it's saying, hey, you've exceeded your quota. And when I actually go look at our server here, it's entering the test handler, making a request. Here's the prefix of the key. Error during this rate limit. I'm not setting this anywhere. At like I want to set it at the entire files and folders. Like files and folders, like set it at everything, bro. I don't even care. Scripts, source. Maybe something's going on with tsconfig. No. I want to keep this up here. I'm going to change it back to laptop. Again, I'm trying to just remain as like secure as possible, guys. That's really no, not just cursor, laptop. Let's go back here and I don't even know tools. Let's just put this on. No. We're gonna put on the YouTube video. How I AI. Pod. How I AI pod Gumroad. That's crazy. Okay. That doesn't show up. Really?
Can you do something that used to take 2 weeks in 2 hours? And that's like a 40 times speed increase. So that's kind of like the number that I have in my head generally. Like, what's the most optimistic case? If you kind of remove all the bottlenecks, something that would take 40 hours would take 1 hour.
If you're suggesting to us that AI is going to raise the bar on what's possible to do, you are certainly setting the standard.
The majority of human engineering will be removing tech debt such that AI engineers can actually ship features. It's also scary, I think, which is why I think so many people shy away from this stuff. Is like there is this part why change is uncomfortable is that change can kill you. There's like a fear of change. It's like job security, right? But at the end of the day, I think it's sort of also job insecurity.
Hey everyone, welcome to How I AI, a podcast on how AI is transforming how we get things done. I'm Claire, product leader and AI obsessive, here on a mission to help you build better with these new tools. Today, I have an absolute powerhouse guest, Sahil Lavingia, CEO and founder of Gumroad. If you don't know Gumroad, it's the platform that has helped creators sell over $1 billion of products directly to their audiences. Sahil's been at the bleeding edge using AI to transform how companies build products and write code, doing everything from open sourcing the entire Gumroad repo to paying his employees thousands of dollars if they can write more AI-powered code than he does. Today, he's going to show us exactly how he does it. Let's dive in.
This episode is brought to you by Enterprit. Enterprit is
Wait. I don't really want to just put other people's stuff on here. That doesn't feel right. I think I need to end the stream here just because I am worried about the privacy of this stuff, guys. I'm gonna end the stream here. I'll be right back. I'm gonna need to take a little bit of time to figure this out, I guess, but I am gonna be back.